Hello again, how are you? I hope you're doing well, that you're getting ready to have an incredible weekend ahead of you. Thank you so much for giving me a few moments of your time to check out where I am with Pan That Palette LORAC Pro 2 for this year. It has been a really busy ride for the last couple of weeks. In fact, before we get into the Pan That Palette update, this look that I'm currently wearing, super inspired with shades from this palette, especially being silver and charcoal. Cool gray with a coral vibe. The get ready with me for that is coming, but I want some feedback from you, so we'll talk about that after I go on and update you on where the palette is currently. But this is an amazing find to reach for in your collection if you want to shop your stash and really be on trend with current looks, because the look I'm wearing right now you can pretty much recreate completely out of this palette and then bring in an additional coral shade. Done. You've got an Anastasia sultry palette inspired kind of vibe to your look. It's very current with the trends. It's perfect for summer appropriate makeup, so just kind of heads up on that one, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. So let me show you back where the palette was for the month of April, and then we'll talk about where the palette is at the moment. All right, here goes. As you can see, it has been a busy couple of weeks. The most recent shade that I have been able to finish has been Cool Gray, and I really have just embraced that shadow in a major way. I will admit that when I first started using the LORAC Pro 2 palette, it wasn't a shade that attracted me, because I always thought it was going to be kind of corpsey looking, kind of ashy, dry, just not the most flattering color that I could possibly wear on my skin. But last year I really fell in love with it, wearing it with like a lilac highlighting vibe and mauves. I just adored it. This year, pairing it with coral, it has just been absolute perfection. So I loved that shadow, and I miss it terribly, but it has given me an opportunity to step into a shadow from my Anastasia Subculture palette to keep things kind of moving forward with the Single Ladies and My Man matte project pans. So I'm grateful for that ability to kind of keep moving through my collection. The next two shades that I plan on finishing are going to be silver. I have hit pan. I've had to repress it. This is the last little bits of that shadow, and again, I'm really just embracing this palette. I'm loving the shift to wear more cool tones on my eyes and then mix them in with the warm tones, like pairing it in with a warm brown and a coral. It's just been beautiful. I have loved that look so much. I started wearing it back in April. I couldn't put it down, so I've continued to wear it for May. And like I said, that get ready with me is coming, because I'm noticing that it is super trendy right now, like with Juvia's Place releasing the Nubian 3 Coral palette. Definitely Anastasia Sultry palette's been talked about, and Jen mentioned it in Jen Loves Reviews in one of her recent like ultimate favorites makeup products. And then I am willing to absolutely put money down that there's going to be more coral and gray inspiration coming, just to kind of put that out there. So these two I'm hoping to finish by the end of May. We will see. If it's not going to be the end of May, it's going to be right at the beginning of June. So I'm kind of halfway debating about just kind of continuing to pan the same look and finish those out. And then the next goal I have kind of ahead of me is I'm going to be doing a ColourPop look inspired with a shade like Tea Garden. I'm going to go in with Electric from my Subculture palette, along with Plum, Nectar, and I'm kind of hoping to figure out how to incorporate Mocha into that look, because it's the last shade that I plan to hit pan on in this palette, and then we'll just kind of work from there. I mean, I don't feel pressured at all that I won't finish this palette. In fact, it's kind of been a weird feeling to have this much pan at this point, because it's just strange for me to be jumping around. I like the consistency of having a palette and kind of being able to look ahead and plan. So on that note, the reason why I was kind of thinking of staying with the gray look is because I also have this secondary palette over here where I put in Anastasia sultry inspired shades, and also these are shades that I would have considered very similar to things in the LORAC Pro 2 palette if I still had them in here. So just to kind of give you the heads up, I know I've mentioned it before, but going in with Coconut Cream from my Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette, it's similar to Buff. Licorice from that same palette, the matte black down here, is similar to LORAC Pro 2's black. I've got a bronze shade over here that I've been working on that is quite similar to cocoa. This warm brown over here is deeper than light brown would have been out of my LORAC Pro 2, but it's accomplishing the same goal of using a warm brown in my crease area, so we're going with it. Then I've got this shimmery white over here that came out of the Too Faced White Peach palette, but in all honesty, it's kind of similar to Snow from the LORAC Pro 2. So, I mean, just part of me is kind of like, I'm okay with continuing the same look and see if I can finish off pans of the shadows in here, because I feel like that would have just been a, you know, it would have been a given if I had had more shades in the LORAC Pro 2. So I'm interested to hear your feedback on that, how you would feel, or if you want to just see me finish off as quickly as I can and then kind of jump around my collection. So it is what it is with that. So in terms of housekeeping things to get ready with me, I have tried to film it multiple times. It's been like 4 or 5 times, and parts of it just don't turn out. And so I'm kind of feeling a little bit frustrated because I've put a lot of effort into finding shades from my stash that I would personally shop for, or, you know, looking online at different pictures and making sure things compare and swatches match up. And so I put in a lot of time and energy into that video, especially because corals and grays are going to be very, very popular as we go into summer makeup. So it's definitely information you might want to have if you're trying to keep up with the times with your makeup and stay ahead of fashion trends and things like that. So let me know, would you like me to just kind of change up the style a little bit and film the get ready with me and maybe base it more on the information? Like, I'll talk about the brushes I use, but I won't necessarily go through the demonstration of applying the makeup. Or do you want me to try to kind of go on and use the format that I've had before, where I share the information, but then I have kind of applying the makeup in the background so you can see how to do it? Either way, I'm fine with it. I really do want to get that video out to you because I've put in a lot of time, and it's great reference for me later. Because after I've switched into another look, I want to be able to reference this and be able to wear it again, because I really, really have enjoyed it. So let me know in the comments below how you would feel about either of those 2 formats. If Get Ready With Me's or something that you are interested in, or you're looking for some color inspiration, because like I said, I'm seeing a lot of corals and grays come out. I mean, Juvia's Place just released that Nubian 3 Coral Vibe palette. We got the Anastasia Sultry palette. ColourPop is releasing a very warm palette with the what is it, the watermelon inspired, that's going to have a lot of reds and corals. And so it's a really fun way to get some more use and then bring in some cool tones to kind of shake up the vibes of your everyday eye makeup. So I hope that you will have as much fun trying that out as I have worn it. You know, I loved wearing it for the last couple of weeks. So that about wraps it up. Thank you once again for giving me a few minutes of your time. I hope that you have a phenomenal weekend ahead of you. And until next time, take care, and I look forward to catching up with you soon. See you later.